Good morning. In the absence of the mayor, I bring regrets from Mayor Love. I will call the meeting to order at 10:08 a.m. and advise council and members of the public that as per bylaw 2018-119, Councillor Ernie Poplinski is the appointed member of council authorized to act in the place of the head of council in the absence of the mayor with authority under section 18.3.2 of the procedural bylaw to chair this special council meeting.
Thank you, Madam CAO. At this time, I'd like to remind council, municipal staff that this meeting is being live streamed to the public. All council meetings are being recorded. Recordings are available on the public website, on the YouTube account. Physical attendance at the meeting of the public at this meeting is restricted due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This meeting is held electronically under bylaw 2020-70 to amend procedural bylaw 2018-117 pursuant to section 238 of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended. Number 2 on the agenda, I've been asked from the CAO. Clerk will require revision to resolution 2021-70615 under 12.1 unfinished business regarding the contract position for a compliance officer. And I will need a mover and a seconder on that motion, if I may. Councillor Bromwich moves it, and Councillor Wilmer second. Any comment? No further comments. All in favor? Motion's granted. Number 3, is there any declaration of pecuniary interest?
None.
Okay. And none indicated. Number 4, we have no delegations. And number 5, we have confirmation of the minutes. 5.1, special council meeting minutes of June the 14th, 2021. And has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes? Any? Okay, so I could use somebody to make a motion to accept those minutes. And Councillor Wilmer, and second by Councillor Schulist. Any comments? All in favor? Motion's granted. 5.2, the public meeting minutes of June the 15th, 2021. And once again, does any comments? Everything in order? Okay, I need a motion to accept those minutes. We have Councillor Schulist and we have seconder Councillor Wilmer. Any further comments? Having none, all in favor, motion's granted. So we have 5.3, the regular council meeting minutes of June the 15th, 2021. And I need a motion to accept those minutes. Councillor Wilmer, and second by Councillor Bromwich. Any further comments, submissions, or errors? Don't see any indication. So motion is granted. We have number 6, and any business arising from the minutes? I don't see any indication of having any. So we'll move on to bylaws. So we have 8.1, it's a bylaw. And Madam CAO, I think that if I could ask you to read those.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chair. Bylaw 2020-46, being a bylaw, shoreline road allowance closure and disposition along Kamaniskeg Lake in front of Lot 1, Concession 8, designated as Parts 1 and 2 on Reference Plan 49R 19593, subject to an easement in favor of Ontario Power Generation Incorporated over Part 1, Geographic Township of Radcliffe, County of Renfrew, file number Dimitric DMY 2019-07. I need a mover and a seconder.
So we'll move by Councillor Schulist, second by Councillor Wilmer. All in favor? Granted.
That bylaw 2020-46 being a bylaw to provide for the closing and stopping up of part of an original shore road allowance along Kaministkeg Lake fronting Lot 1, Concession 8, geographic Township of Radcliffe, now in the Township of Madawaska Valley in the County of Renfrew, being part of PIN 5784-007 LT, and for the sale thereof to the abutting landowners be given third and final reading this 13th day of July 2021.
So once again, I need a mover, Councillor Bromwich, second by Councillor Wilmer. All in favor? Granted. We have 8.2 bylaw 2021-60, and I'll ask the CAO to.
That bylaw 2021-60 being a bylaw to prohibit or regulate noise within the Township of Madawaska Valley be given first and second reading this 13th day of July 2021.
And I'll ask for a mover, Councillor Schulist, and second by Councillor Bromwich. All in favor? Granted.
That bylaw 2021-60 be given third and final reading this 13th day of July 2021.
And we'll ask for a mover, Councillor Wilmer, and second by Councillor Schulist. All in favor? Granted. We move on to 8.3, and it's a bylaw dealing with the service agreement, and I'd ask the CAO to comment.
This bylaw is authorizing the entering into an execution of a services agreement with Gal Power Systems Ottawa, servicing of the Generac generator at the Paul J. Yakabuski Community Center. So bylaw 2021-61 being a bylaw to authorize the entering into and the execution of a services agreement with Gal Power Systems Ottawa Limited and the Corporation of the Township of Madawaska Valley with respect to the servicing of the Generac generator at the Paul J. Yakabuski Community Center be given first and second reading this 13th day of July 2021.
So a mover, Councillor Bromwich, second by Councillor Wilmer. All in favor? Motion's granted.
That bylaw 2021-61 be given third and final reading this 13th day of July 2021.
Once again, we'll ask for a mover, Councillor Schulist, second by Councillor Wilmer. All in favor? It's granted. Next, we have 8.4 and bylaw 2021-62. Madam CAO.
So prior to the reading of this bylaw, I'll be seeking a resolution. I will need a mover and a seconder that council approve the zoning amendment for file number FIN 2021-08, Daniel and Brenda Finos as presented, and further that the recommendations from the environmental impact assessment be implemented through a site plan agreement between the owner and the township.
Once again, we need a mover and Councillor Bromwich, and second by Councillor Wilmer. All in favor? Granted.
Bylaw 2021-62, site-specific zoning bylaw amendment of part of Lot 7, Concession 6, designated as Part 2 on Reference Plan 49R 8701, and part of the Shoreline Road Allowance along the Madawaska River, designated as Part 1 on the Reference Plan 49R 9301, Geographic Township of Radcliffe from Limited Services Residential LSR to Limited Service Residential Exception 65 LSR E65. Daniel and Brenda Finos, file FIN 2021-08.
Once again, I need a mover on that. Councillor Bromwich, second by Councillor Schulist. All in favor? Granted.
That bylaw 2021-62 being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 2006-26 of the Township of Madawaska Valley as amended be given first and second reading this third day of July 2021. Oh, sorry, I'm reading that wrong. Be given first and second reading this 13th day of July 2021 and be given third and final reading the 13th day of July 2021.
Once again, I need a mover, Councillor Bromwich, second by Councillor Wilmer. All in favor? Granted. Does that look like we have all the bylaws there, Madam CAO?
We still have 8.5, Chair Poplinski, Bylaw 2020-63, the adoption of a community safety and well-being plan.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. I missed it on my, okay, once again, we need a mover. Councillor Wilmer, and second by Councillor Schulis. All in favor? Granted.
So that was for the first and second reading of
Yes.
to adopt the community safety well-being plan. I now need a mover and a seconder that bylaw 2020-63 be given third and final reading this 13th day of July 2021.
We have Councillor Wilmer moving it and seconded by Councillor Schulis. Any further comments? Having none, all in favor? Granted. I think that takes us down to the 9 on our agenda. Correspondence and information. I don't see anything unless there's something that to be added. No. And nothing under new business. Anything under unfinished business?
Yes, if I may. I'm informing council that the review committee did meet as it pertained to implementing an agreement for a compliance officer between the two municipalities. And we are recommending that the term for the contract position be changed to be for a period of 1 year in lieu of 6 months. If you recall my report before council, which was a resolution was for the committee to move forward with a 6-month term. Following that review, Killaloo, Haggerty, and Richard has accepted the change to a 1-year term. I am asking council to agree or consider that this 6-month term position that will be advertised be changed to advertise for 1 year. It is our belief that a longer term will attract more qualified individuals to the contract posting, and making that change now will not impact my report as it pertains to the budgeting, because we would have 6 months in 2021 and we would have the remainder in 2022, which will be taken into account for budgeting. So I am looking for a resolution to allow me to modify that original resolution.
Thank you, Madam CAO. I'm just wondering, I'd like to hear council's position on that, and we will be having a vote, but I think it is important to extend that time as you suggested, but I would like to hear other council members' view. Yes, Councillor Bromwich.
Thank you. Through you, Chair. I agree 100%. I think this would attract probably a better candidate, knowing there's a full-time job here for 1 year. 6-month contract goes by very quickly, and I agree full-heartedly that we desperately need somebody to help us out here. We've quite a backlog of complaints. Things are getting a little bit out of hand out there with regard to fire safety and littering and other infractions in the township, and I think we have to clean it up. So thank you very much for that suggestion.
Yes, Councillor Wilmer.
I agree completely too. I think there's a lot of work to do. I think extending it to 1 year, we're more likely to find a good candidate. And I also think there's a lot of work to do that's going to take at least a year to at least try to catch up on what's going on out there. So I agree 100%.
Excellent. Yes, and Councillor Schulis, I know you had your hand up as well.
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair. Yes, absolutely, totally will support this motion. 6 months is just not long enough, and definitely we need to attract somebody to fill this position. So I will definitely support it.
I certainly concur, and I ask someone to make the motion. Councillor Wilmer made the motion, and Councillor Schulis to second it. Any further comments? Having none, all in favor? Motion's granted.
Thank you.
We have number 13 on our agenda, and it's an in-camera session. So I'd like to require a mover and a seconder that a meeting enter into camera session to discuss matters pertaining to the security and property of the municipality or local board, personal matters about an unidentifiable individual, and including municipal or local board employees, advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communication necessary for that purpose. Proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board, Ontario Municipal Act 2001 C25 S239 C2AB C and F. Number 1, Wishart Law Firm update record file number CV-21 0000002-0000. And number 2, special council meeting minutes in camera, June the 14th, 2021. And number 3, regular council meeting minutes in camera from June the 15th, 2021. So if I could have a mover. That's Councillor Bromwich, second by Councillor Schulis.